Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Um, just a little bit about me and what this channel is about. So my name is Gabi. I'm a conservation biologist, and this channel is Breaking Bio. So this is a new initiative to celebrate diversity and conservation and open up some conversations with different individuals in our field from all backgrounds. So this is a little bit of an impromptu video today. I didn't really plan it, but it's something I've been thinking about for quite a while, and that is the importance of representation in the sciences. So there's an enormous platform on Twitter right now, on the science side of Twitter, that celebrates diversity, which is really great. But sometimes it's really cool to meet someone in person, who is similar to you or who reminds you of yourself, so you can kind of see that someone else who is similar to you has made it. And I think that's really important for people who are not kind of the stereotypical idea of a scientist. So I've always been gender, a little bit about me. So I've always been gender nonconforming, and I identify, I think I've said on the channel before, as non-binary. So what that means, and this is kind of something that's taken me a while to kind of find a word for it, is that I was I'm born female, but I don't really identify as a woman. I identify as a mix of masculine and feminine characteristics. So the idea that your sex is kind of usually set at birth, and then gender is more of a not even a spectrum, just kind of there's many different ways to identify and to kind of find yourself. And this is kind of how I've decided that represents me the best, and that may change or that may not change. Um, and I also am just kind of starting to use the term transmasculine, which means I identify a little bit more with the masculine side of things, but I tend to be a little bit androgynous. But anyway, um, coming out and coming to terms with that, and just kind of finding my way in the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, I am there now. Has been really empowering and important, especially growing through my career as a young scientist. So, kind of where I found representation is that I went to a conference recently and I met an assigned female at birth person who was dressed really androgynously. And I don't really know how they identify, so I don't want to kind of pick pronouns or try to figure out exactly how they identify because I didn't really find it appropriate to ask. But they were dressed amazingly, and they weren't, in a dress. They were dressed in business clothes, one would consider like male business clothes, and they looked fantastic. And they were using kind of a gender neutral name, and yeah, and just getting up on stage and presenting their work. And it was just really empowering because I had never met another person like me, and now I know through YouTube and through other channels that there are a lot of people who are similar to me, and I think that's great. I mean, the internet can't Larg, can't talk. The internet is not always the most welcoming place, and there's a lot of things that aren't great about it. But I think one of the great things about the internet is that you can meet people who come from everywhere, and I think it makes us all feel a little less alone. So not every person who doesn't kind of fit in a box has to become an activist. It's not everyone's, you know, no one's being necessarily has to feel compelled to do that. Um, but I think just kind of being yourself, um, being yourself and just doing well, you know, that's representation. And it was so empowering to be like, hey, maybe there's another person like me out there in the world, and they're doing amazing. Um, and yeah, I'm not the first, and I won't be the last. And there's just something about that that's really inspiring. Anyway, before I ramble on, there's a really great platform called 500 Queer Scientists. I think they are up to almost 1,000 now, which is fantastic. 500 is not literal. They're trying to get way, way more. So for LGBT representation in STEM, that's really awesome. Um, And there's many other platforms that are, opening up now that celebrate diversity, and we're proud to be one of them. So I just kind of wanted to share that no matter how you identify or what your background is, there's someone in the sciences who is out there killing it right now. And the more that we can represent ourselves authentically, you know, that's going to give some kid a lot of hope someday. So just leaving you guys with that thought. See you later.